don't just tell Aztec to hold the price till 3 years from now and we'll do it.
For,
Scott soon.
that was East Hagen,
Oh,
maybe,
okay.
East was a little different than that one.
I guess the goal would be to get a straight answer out of Green Lakes, what they're doing over there, and when they're gonna do it.
They get the Lumber Bridge done yet?
Yes, that is done, open back up.
Somebody asked me, Ben asked me, Friday. I said, it's gotta be getting close.
That went in really well.
Yeah, those culverts down there on Weird Red Creek, 600 grand.
That's a max culvert.
There's only tubes in there now.
Legal permission for it, lots, you can't put no tubes back in.
These guys are,
You can't put dual tubes back in, we gotta do, single span opening, so.
and there's probably a bottom of that, it's probably peat down in there.
That's why the number is where it's at, it's because, it's gonna take, somebody to do a coffer dam all the way around it, coffer dam and all this, set it in. I mean, it should be simple to do a coffer dam, but you're gonna have, who knows
how
you
deep
can-
that peat is.
Yeah, who knows
I
how you're
guarantee
gonna have
that's,
put sheet piling, so,
well, you might have to have pilings and everything in the box culvert.
I'll do a solar flooring.
Yeah, well, that would be, you know how deep it is, because that spots,
We'll get, Dennis over that meeting.
They see that over in Beamer Road today?
Yeah.
I haven't seen they're gonna see
I have
it.
not,
I gave him that day.
So we did.
Did you make it down there after the last meeting to see all the brine?
Yeah, actually, I was impacted. It was horrible the next day. I thought, man. No, it's really good.
I don't know what it looks like now, but I mean, it gets hard.
Well, it's just all disturbed from working on it. Ditch or ran.
During the day,
I
or
think
was that
they
night?
planned on reshaping it.
Probably during the
Right.
that or somebody did it, so yeah. No, I know that size of the box culvert, we talked to preliminary prices, a whole bunch of that going in now,
and all that water, I mean, granted, you might,
It's just equal, right?
it might grab a little bit more, but it goes through one of my culverts at 36 inch, and it handles it.
Yeah, I'm not figuring it.
Well, then
I mean, it might be,
KWA,
okay, so you say it has to be, to gain a little bit more water, whatever, but I mean, it
130
comes through my property from Wigville Lake, that it goes through me and then goes down the drain or creek, whatever you wanna call it, and then dumps out into Seven Ponds, and then Seven Ponds picks up that water and goes through there, but that's only,
Kings Mill Road, when they went through and redid that after KWA, they had to put a 6-foot electrical in underneath Kings Mill. It's an 18-inch tube, less than 100 feet from it, that feeds that 6-foot electrical.
But the rise of that's only 5 foot, so any area of what is only 4 foot. So it's really only,
I understand, but I'm
only
wondering
4 foot, yeah, me too.
what's down
Yeah.
there, because I did some stuff on the house right down through there, and I thought I was on the sea,
Pretty soft.
pretty soft.
You heard the price of salt yet this year?
Yes, I did not bring those numbers with me, I had them at
They
the
go
last
up or
meeting.
down or
About the same, within an hour or two. I had them with me last meeting, and I did not bring them, but I'll have that information for you.
I was just curious if you heard yet.
No, we had to order that back in the spring, to get into the state, it's just a minute. Typically, they start calling us now for first delivery, typically right at end of September, right all the time to do inventory, so.
Yeah, driving just so dry, can't,
Correct, you know?
well, it's cracking. Yeah, might have rain for them.
All right, call the meeting to order at 4:30. Approval of minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of previous meeting, August 18th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Accounts payable. Questions on accounts payable?
I didn't see the large disbursements.
We'll have those for the, board meeting.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I want to bring to your attention, that's on this one, is the, concrete pipe for, Long Road is on this invoice. Approximately $76,000 on that one, so, we're able to use a concrete ground pipe versus concrete box culvert, so anytime we go from a bridge to a pipe, I think that's a good thing with people, so.
Any other questions? Okay. Any questions on the road projects? Anybody wants to see them, I have them here.
I'm good.
Terry,
No,
Okay.
all good.
communications?
We did not receive any, communications this fall yet.
All right, manager engineer.
Attached in your packet was the asset management plan, that's required. So, that was beginning in 2019. Every 3 years, we have to submit an asset management plan, to the state of Michigan to stay in compliance with Public Act, 325. Anybody who owns over 100 miles of certified roads have to put one of these, reports together. So on Wednesday, we'd be seeking a resolution for approval of our 2025 transportation asset management plan. This report is due to the state on October 1st. So, on the positive side, we are making a improvement to the condition of the roads. If you look at page 8, you can see that the green is coming up. So we are making an improvement to the road system here in Lapeer County. On page 12 of the report, the only projects that we're currently showing on here were the projects that were locked into through the state of Michigan using our rural task force money. So we have showing on here Emily City Road, Fish Lake Road, and Long Road.
When they gonna do Fish Lake?
Fish Lake was programmed for 2028.
28, okay.
2026 is Emily City Road. In 2027, we do not receive the rural task force funding. It goes to the small cities and villages for 2027, and then we receive the money back in 2028, and that's where Fish Lake Road is on there. Plum Road was 2029, but we do have the availability to change those around through the rural task force if we want to.
Plum Road from Lake Pleasant East.
Lake Pleasant, all the way to Summers Road. Also within this asset management plan is the bridge assessment. And then we have the culvert assessment, traffic signal assessment. And then you're gonna have your own portion of it, which has the page ratings.
this actually officially numbers?
That one is not,
Oh.
so.
I say, they don't like that name anymore.
No, they don't look like that.
That was actually.
So I've seen them in ours.
From the council.
Questions about the asset management plan? All right, 26 budget.
The board was provided with a draft copy of the proposed 2026 budget. I guess I'll just give a quick overview of it before you guys throw some questions, if that's all right, Mr. Chairman. The first page of the budget is just a summary of the revenue coming in with the expenditures coming in. The goal was to propose a kind of look close to a balanced budget. So right now we're showing a revenue of $756 on that sheet right there when it comes to balancing it out. The second sheet of the budget is a breakdown of all the revenue. Playing it on the safe side right now, we got our rural task force STP funds coming in at 1.2 million, estimating about 95,000 of revenue and permits for the fiscal year 2026. State sources are pretty much locked in stone. One thing that I did not include in here is the mileage transfer of Emily City Road back to Lapeer County Road Commission as one of those bubble items on whether they're going to continue to get it or if they're going to cut it. Kathleen did run the report and we have not received our money from last year yet. That typically comes in late September or the beginning of October. If it comes in October, then it's just back calculated back into our year-end budget. So I prefer it to be on the conservative side, and that's why we left it out right now. I was just looking to see what that number was from last year's, like $400 and some thousand, so it does add up. Local sources, we always budget about $2 million of local work. Bridge allocation, estimating that at $353,000 approximately. And then as far as our state revenues, and that we're looking at about 1.6 on the maintenance side and about 100,000 on non-maintenance. And that sheet is going to be the summary of the expenditures. Heavy maintenance, we're looking at between primary and local together about $10 million. As far as routine maintenance goes, we're looking at about $7 million. State maintenance, which is going to be your state trunk line, 1.7 million. And then administrative fees, and that about 1.4 million on the expenditures. From this point going forward, this is where we get into the details of what's made up on the expenditures sheet that I just kind of browsed through in a hurry. The very first expenditure is going to be the primary heavy maintenance sheet. We're proposing projects. We can cut to this list, we can add to this list, the board can do whatever they desire on this list. Emily City Road is a project that we're receiving federal dollars on, $1.2 million of federal, and then about $164,000 of state money for all-season network roads. Because Emily City is all-season network. The proposed limits on that was going to go from Myers Road to Lake Pleasant Road and Emily City Road. Mill resurface to keep it up in a good condition. That is one of our primary alternative roads here in the county if there's an issue with I-69.
So how are you gonna put a weight limit on for this fall with just one kill?
We're talking, this is Emily City Road.
Oh, okay.
So this would be 2026 for Emily City Road. As far as overlays goes, we did not pick any roads yet. We're just looking to invest about another $1 million into overlays, throughout the county, proposing to put $100,000 towards, crack sealing.
How many miles roughly of overlays is that?
They're approximately 2.25 per mile. The Peck Road Bridge, we had that in last year's budget, and moving it forward to, this year's budget. That is there just to the east of Reagan Road, west of the railroad tracks. Dual tubes going underneath the road. Z Contracting is currently replacing the box culvert on Goslin Road, but the bottoms are rotted out of those dual tubes on Peck Road, and we're going through the engineering design of the concrete box culvert now for that replacement. Newark Road on there, we threw in $1 million for the top coat of asphalt out there, from Lake Pleasant to Black's Corners Road. Osner Road, we've had an Eagle permit on that. That will be expiring next year. That's replacement of dual tubes on Osner Road. As we were talking about, there's water on both sides. It's going to require coffer dams. That's why the price is so high on that one. Box culvert itself is going to be probably right around $1,700 per foot, and then another $50,000 for head wall, wing walls. But ground conditions may get ugly on that one. Burt Road over in the line of Emily and Almont Townships over there, proposing to do some ditching out there with some limestone resurfacing. Slattery Road, and the reason, if you're looking up the miles on that, we were proposing from Clifford Road all the way to Marlott Road. The difference is that's natural aggregate up there and not limestone, so that's why there's so many more miles included in that price versus the limestone. And then we were proposing to do some various locations on Baldwin Road for a limestone resurface on Baldwin Road down there. Baldwin Road is our highest traffic volume aggregate road within the county. You add all that together, we were looking at about $7.5 million. So that's a good chunk of our revenue coming in on that sheet. Moving over to the next sheet is our local heavy maintenance budget. On that one there, we're estimating that we'll have about $800,000 of local heavy work. It's probably on the light side. But like I said, we're out to be conservative on the budget. And we have the allocation on there. We do have the Morris Road Bridge over the south branch of the Fleck River. That project will be bid hopefully in February, and that's $1.7 million for the Morris Road Bridge over the south branch of the Flint River. So that will be Lapeer Township covering that cost. We will match 50% of the township's share of that project through the county bridge fund. So I'm thankful that we received the money from the county for put back into the bridges.
So who's paying the 1.7? Is that the state?
State effect combined together. We typically don't know until we get to bid writing, it's gonna come out of the state fund or the federal fund and program those projects through. The next sheet of the budget is the primary routine maintenance. So the top three lines is District 1, District 2, District 3. That's how much money we're allocating to each garage to just do routine maintenance on the primary roads within their townships. Winter maintenance is the next one. One thing with the winter maintenance is there is a contingency fund in there of $150,000. And then we have the railroad crossing paint that we have to do, bridge inspections, guardrail maintenance, So our primary routine budget is up to about $2.4 million, 2.5 approximately. Moving on to the local routine, once again, each district is allocated money for routine maintenance. So the routine maintenance, some items that are included in routine maintenance is going out with miscellaneous like hand trimmers and that to trim the signs that are covered with trees. Any of the grading, as you guys heard me say all year long, the graders have the availability to go out and spot grade, whether it's overtime or not, get the roads, back roads in good condition. We can do as much spot grading as we can in the spring. You can get away with it because you don't have to worry about putting the brine application on there. So that's another example of routine maintenance, is going out there to grade the roads without brine. If we put brine down, that is a cost to the township for the brine. Cold patching is covered under routine maintenance. Those are your routine maintenance activities. Winter contingency on this one, I did increase the contingency up to $200,000 on that one, just because we were so far over last year with winter maintenance. And then line painting, we have a rotation going on for painting the different townships throughout the county. So we got 50,000 on local township roads to be painted, some bridge inspection, guardrail, mowing, and then allocations are on here as an expense. And then we're estimating about $1.2 million from agreement work from townships. So that's those two. When we approve the overall budget, the local and the heavy, they can go back and forth. Like the cross tubes and that we're replacing, they fall under routine maintenance and not the heavy maintenance. That's why there's more costs associated with the routine work than the heavy work right now. So that's about 4.7 million. The next sheet of the budget, this is where it gets a little more confusing. We have 2 Western Stars right now that are at truck and trailer. They're down there, they're waiting to be outfitted. However, we don't have an invoice for them yet because they're not quite done. So we're gonna have to carry 2 of those over. We'll probably get them in November, early November, hopefully, is when we'll get those 2 trucks. You're looking at $175,000 each for those 2. We still have 2 tandems sitting in the salt barn, old salt barn up here, in storage. So we got 2 brand new chassis sitting up there waiting to get up in it. There's nothing else that we can do, except to be on the waiting list. Cole's been on the list for over a year now. He is getting some quotes from the company in Alma down there. What is that? STS, isn't it? STE. So he is going there, but truck and trailer, they're good, but we are doing some other shopping around. He has not got the quote back yet, but if he does, that's something that we can consider. I mean, they are a local company, so, but yeah, so I mean, there's four tandems right there. Being that we have 4 tandems right there, he was not proposing to order new tandems right now until we got the backlog cleaned up on these and to see where we are with new models and all that kind of stuff. So that's where we sit with the truck situation. $190,000 though for the 2.
So 15.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's getting for prices right now. So that's a lot. That's a big increase. So in my opinion,
Almost 10%.
yeah.
Yep.
So.
Placing them in the cities capable of doing the full thing like we do.
He's looking around. So like I said, when I see 2 trucks sitting in the storage up here, and I said, Howard, do some looking around and see what you come up with for options. I mean, we bought 2 trucks and we gotta get them equipped. So, I mean, I'm not saying we're going with a different company, it's just see what's out there for options is what I told him to do, so.
Because other companies, they're 400 days out or something, I think. or
Yeah,
something.
that's what I told Alex, just he was out there for options before you, pull something that's in line at trucking trailer, so they're on the list down there, it's just that they're on the list quite a ways down, so, we threw in, we need a brush axe, we had the brush axe in the budget and the bubble item last year, and we didn't do anything with it because of the budgets and that, so I threw on there a rubber tire excavator with brush axe, that's one of them things that if the board wants to approve it again as a brush axe and we can figure out whether we go with a tractor or an excavator or something else, I mean, that's fine. But we do need to get a brush axe back into the fleet. Me personally, in talking with the shop and the tractor is for the brush axing that we're doing, a tractor is not the right piece of equipment. It needs to be an excavator that does it or a regular brush axe, but then when you go to just regular brush axe, you're limited on what all you can do with it. So, that's my opinion with the brush axe. We need to do something with brush axing, so.
A lot of them rubber tire excavators got a height problem, I've heard. You know, going down the road.
If you
You
put them
can't-
on,
you
if
can't-
you put them on
On a rubber tire excavator,
yeah,
you can't crump them down to get the boom level out.
yeah. The one that we're looking at, we could probably move around on our low boy, so we should be okay on our low boy with it. But like I said, I mean, if you notice on here, I'm not speccing a type of machine, I'm just saying an excavator. And we'll put it out there to see if it's deer, cat, or whomever it would be. But that's, like I said, this is just to open the discussion up for the board to do it, but yeah, there's pros and cons to rubber tires, so. I mean, you can drive it, most of the,
I think it'd be a big plus. I mean, Sam was,
Sandlines,
just
yeah.
bought one, and they love it.
Howard was looking into, getting one here for us to lease. I told him you might as well get it when we're the least busiest, and right now we're busy, so, I told the foreman to let the townships know that we will roll over their brush axe allocation. We'll get a machine, we'll run it, and, if we like it, then we will get something similar to that, was the way I was thinking on it, so. The next item on there was the rear cross conveyor. We need to get something on the back of a tandem so we can go out there, sling some dirt, sling some shoulder material, and some of the larger aggregate. The one that we have no longer adapts to the new trucks, and it's been an issue, so I'm looking for a new belt slinger. We work, in my opinion, we work well with contractors. Whomever the paving company is that's paving in Lapeer County, we typically go out there and we'll work behind the paver by taking a tandem out there because we got the belt slinger on it. And the guys go out and they sling that material down in front of the mailboxes and at the driveway so that residents can get in and out of their driveway. So to me, it's a win-win. The guys typically get some overtime out of it and they get to work with the contractors on the construction projects. So, that's why we do new cross conveyor on it. As far as fleet pickups, Howard met with a leasing company on those, crunched all the numbers on leasing and all of that, and unless they can sharpen their pencils a lot better than what they already did, we're back to the alternative of buying trucks and not leasing them. We thought maybe we could lease some trucks versus buying them, but the numbers just don't work out with our fleet to lease at this time yet. So, we'd be proposing to buy about 5 more pickup trucks here. 1/2 tons, 3/4 tons, and all that kind of stuff. Replace the ones in the fleet. The hot patcher for the Lapeer garage is on the fritz. So we're looking at about $40,000 for a new hot patcher. Sign truck is starting to get to the time that it needs to get replaced, but I drew a line through the sign truck to make the budget work and added a little clause at the bottom of it saying no slide out on this to be added as when the funds are available. So I did that. And the same with a proposed payloader. Be looking to get rid of the other older Cat 938 payloader before there's an issue with it, and we would the Cat 938 is what we'd be proposing to get, but we'd be trading in the payloader and out of Emily towards that one. Once again, I'm not saying we're gonna get a Cat, it's gonna be comparable to a Cat 938 high lift is what we'd be looking at. That would be one size larger than what the Lapeer garage has, one size smaller than what North Branch has, and then we would rotate them back and forth between the garages of what loader is better for the garage, so.
That sign truck, it's getting pretty rough.
Yeah, but, and that's what I said.
I don't think we should be cutting out the
That's
sign truck.
what it's probably gonna go back in here, I put lined out, items to be added. We do have 2 sign trucks right now, we got the spare and then the big one. So I was asking Howard today before this meeting, I said, hey, what's your opinion on the sign truck? And he said, the sign truck, we should get that on the list and get the sign truck repaired, or replaced, so we can cut the excavator with the brush axe and put the sign truck on, because there's gonna be overtime and all that most likely. And the thing with the brush axe is we can go rent a brush axe on an excavator, like he's already lining up right now to get a brush axe.
Yeah, 'cause you
on
can't
an
run the sign
excavator.
truck.
So, correct, and we do have a little backup sign truck. So the big sign truck that we're currently using, I asked, what are we gonna do with that? Are we gonna keep it or get rid of that one? And his answer was, we're gonna keep that one and get rid of the little tiny one that's even more useless than.
It's not very sign truck.
Yeah, so that was his proposal on that. Then we have about 4 tandem trucks that have a few $100,000 in there. They have exhaust leaks and all that. The shop is backed up. They just need to get sent out ASAP, get them fixed, get them tuned up, and get them ready for winter time. So threw it down there as a proposed capital and that could have had to go in the budget somewhere. But those trucks, we just need to send them out of here and get them, get the exhaust leaks fixed. Give them one look over, tuned up. And then buildings and grounds, 30,000 in there, shop equipment 30,000. We have this boardroom that's gonna get off the feet. We have 2 contractors that submitted a proposal, but nobody could do the work within this fiscal year. Everybody wanted more time to do it, so that was carried over. IT upgrade, we have 20,000 in there for IT upgrades. That's the computers, the kiosk, and the garages. Server upgrade. Our server is time to be upgraded, so we've got 30,000 in there for a server. Some traffic counters for the engineering department. We had the HVAC system as a carryover. We did go out and got prices for mini splits, and they were, if we did mini splits for every single room in that, way a lot more than just replacing what we have. So we're gonna replace what we have, probably end up doing a mini split here in the boardroom and a mini split up front for one of the, up in that area where we're not getting good circulation, and then just replace the other units that we have. We threw 106,000 in for sandblasting and paving inside the buildings and the garages. District 3 needed a couple of new tube heaters. They're about, have 12,000 in there for that. And then this gate out here to go in the back parking lot, it doesn't have the right opener on it, so we're proposing a heavy duty gate opener out there for about $8,200. So this weekend the gate wasn't shut because the opener keeps messing up on it. So we've had them out here a lot, and we can't seem to fix it. They keep saying it's undersized for the gate. As far as items for, so that brings us to $2 million approximately approximately, and then we have about $1 million of depreciation. As far as surplus equipment, we're looking to get rid of 1256, that's a triaxle. I asked everybody what's the matter with it and that, and it just doesn't fit the road commission, anymore for what we're doing, so. 1256 is that great big red and white truck out there. So we have that down, surplus that for 40,000. We have 5 pickup trucks in there for 35,000. V-box trailers, I don't know what the board would like to do with those. They've been sitting out here, we haven't been using them. I would propose to keep one of them that's in decent shape in case we do need to haul some gravel to a back road where it's all tree canopy and you can't go. We could do it with our own forces, but the rest of them, proposing to get rid of those. Got 35,000 in there. The old hot patcher out of the Lapeer garage, we estimated was about 8, and then the payloader and Emily garage, we estimated that at about 25,000 for a total of 143,000 of surplus.
You got it scratched off up top, do you wanna still have that in there on the bottom?
That was, I had the note on the bottom that says line out items to be added, funds that are available on that. I was kind of feeling a little optimistic, but you bring up a good point, if I take it off the bottom, if I got taken off the top, so. And then the last sheet is just a summary of everything that we talked about on the first sheet. We do have until October 1 to approve the budget, so the board can take as long as they want to review it, provide comments, feedback.
I've got some questions.
Yeah.
Alright, so for our districts, for their budgets, is that based off miles of road, budgetary from year before? Where do we pull the numbers from?
Miles of road and looking at 10 years, the past previous budgets that were allocated to the roads.
And then, so the upfitting for the second 2 trucks, we're looking at, if there's someone else out there besides truck and trailers.
Correct, yeah. I guess told Howard, I said front lightly on that because truck and trailer hasn't been very good with their county road commission. It's just one of them things that.
There's not a lot of companies out there that do it.
No.
That's a problem. So then, for the excavator, how many current tractors do we have with brush axes on them currently that are actually in working condition? That don't have a broken axle on them or something like that?
0 right now because we don't have brush axe on Steve's tractor.
Oh, you did put it back on?
No, we're still testing it, but I mean, otherwise, so we got 0 right now. We will get it re-outfitted with the brush axe and get it back on it, but as right now, we
You're
don't.
gonna fix the other one?
Fix the other one, insurance came back, and it would be, we're just waiting to, the insurance company approved Hudson to do the repair. They were less than Tri-County, however, they didn't have the trucking on it to get it to their facility to repair it. So they're resubmitting their estimate, and I'm assuming that hopefully it's, they'll last and we'll have them fix it, repair it, so.
So we get that one fixed, we'll have 2 brush axe tractors.
Correct.
So that if we buy an excavator that has a brush axe on it, are we gonna get rid of 2 tractors? Or are we, what's the plan?
The tractor that we're repairing the axle on
Yeah.
needs to go before we put a motor in it.
Right.
That's got like 15,000 hours on it. We're on borrowed time with that. So that would be my recommendation is to get rid of that tractor. When we're putting this budget together, we didn't know whether the insurance is going to be rolled up or have to get it fixed.
5 pickups?
It originally
That's
started.
that's a lot at one time.
It originally started at 7, and I said no to 7, so, yeah.
So.
You said some of them are gonna be half tons, well,
Half tons,
they also
three-quarter
put
ton.
snowplow
We'll
on.
put
You
snowplows
put
on
snowplow on
half
half ton?
No, what, it was, when I summarized that on here, let me, find the line where including plows on the 3/4 is what we're doing, so, the average on there is about 55,000, about 55,000 per truck.
Do we have an idea of how many of each
Uh,
of the 5?
I do, we were thinking, 3 half tons and 2 3/4.
And then, like, are we gonna figure out a better plan moving forward, and like take pickups out, so we're not having to get slammed with 5 of them at once? Like,
That would be the game plan, is get on a rotation plan. I asked the same question that, I'd rather get rid of this, same with that payloader, and I'd rather get rid of this 926 here right now that we have in, Lapeer. But then when you look at the hours and that on this equipment, the shop is recommending, to me, and myself, that we get rid of the stuff that we could be investing a lot of money in and be stuck with it. So that's why we're trying to get rid of the old stuff. It'd be nice to get on that rotation plan, but that is the goal, is get these pickup trucks like the foreman are driving rotated out every 3 years before they get graded out. But that's a lot of money for trucks. I mean, you usually go out and buy a decent pickup truck for $20,000.
yeah, well, it's a chunk of change. Reseal the 4 tandems, so exhaust leaks, are we talking like oil leaks too?
It's
It's 25 grand truck, so it's gotta be more than exhaust.
Yeah, it's pretty much looking at the entire, engine area up there and fix the oil leaks coming down, dripping out of them.
I think a lot of them got head problem too, right?
Yeah,
They-
head
they-
gaskets,
the gasket,
yeah.
it's pitted down there, and they. So some of them's gotta have heads, I think.
And then the IT and server upgrades, is that carry over from last year, or is this on top of what we did last year?
The server upgrade, we never did a server upgrade, so that is a new one. We're buying the server, we're gonna get the ISD provided us a quote for the server. It was half of what Precision was. So Beth has been going back and forth between Precision and ISD to figure out what the big difference is in between the 2 server quotes and that, so it's carried over a bit.
And then underground and maintenance, so I see we're planning on putting 2 heaters up in District 3. We planning on doing anything about that wall that's broken out? And like fixing the wall that's been hit and is cracked and starting to push out?
That was, being looked at under the capital, building miscellaneous and sandblasting and that, so that's where the building is being looked at and blocked, so that is being looked at, it's definitely gotta get sealed up and addressed. And they did convert the, North Branch garage over to natural gas from propane to natural gas.
Oh, they're running natural gas on there now.
And then how many V-Box trailers do we have? How many are we looking to get rid of? Keep 1, how many do we have total?
That is, I will relook at that list, but I believe there was, 2 of them that I stayed rid of, so I keep 1.
Okay, so we have 3 total.
Okay. I will confirm that.
Is holding on to just one of those, is that enough if we do need to run gravel?
It would be from, we haven't used them in probably 6 years,
I have no seen.
6, 7 years, it's been a while since we've, used them.
You really think you'll get 7,000 piece out of the whole pickups?
I have confidence in the shop for putting those numbers together, so yes, I think that's,
It just seems
I
like
have confidence in what they, came up with their numbers out there. He did have the leasing company come up and take a look at them, and they give him the averages of.
Well, here's that triaxle truck.
That, I don't have that off the top of my head, I'm thinking that might be a 2000 and. 12 maybe, but I looked that up.
Is that one of our manuals?
Is that manual?
It's 18 speed.
All of us.
And do we wanna get rid of that before we get one of these 4 other trucks that are currently just sitting around?
Oh, no, we'll, keep it
Until we get some,
until we.
2 new ones then?
Or something, yeah.
Okay, alright.
We currently use it out on I-69, it's just too
Right.
big, it don't steer good. Yeah, we wouldn't get rid of any of the equipment on surplus until we have the, replacement here for it.
That's all the questions I have for right now. You guys have anything?
Other than that sign truck. That's.
Yeah, the 250 cover holding sign truck,
Yes,
and how long is it gonna take to get that together? It takes us 2 years to get it.
I would hope not very long, I mean, it's not a whole lot to a sign truck, it's pretty much just a chassis with 2 boxes, lift on it for the bucket.
Are we doing that, or are we sending that out to somebody else?
I would hope that we could buy one with the lift and all that on it, all certified and ready to go,
Ready to go.
so, yeah. That'd be the game plan. And we have the hydraulic, hammer and all that to the front of it.
So the little sign truck, they'd get rid of that.
They'd get rid of the little sign truck, keep the current sign truck, that's why I
Or
wasn't.
backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause the doors are falling off that one we got. But even that one could be a little money put in, fixed up there, I mean.
You do a lot of work for 250,000.
Yeah, and as far as the reseals on the engines, they were gonna do the 4 heads on the tandems. They were thinking 39, 1239, 1249, 1252, and 1250.
Safety day.
Safety day is scheduled for this coming, Wednesday. PRI is gonna be the sponsor of the safety day. So if any of the board members would like to attend, you guys are more than welcome to. We will have a letter or posted on the front door, that our offices, well, they'll be closed, but will be available by phone, so we'll put the phone number up there, they can call us, we'll be around. Just that we want everybody to hear all the safety stuff that we're gonna be talking about, so, we'll be closed, offices will be closed, but we'll be here to address any issues that Central has or anything that pops up.
Finance.
I seen that I sent down a request for action for the Board of Commissioners to accept the bridge fund.
Anything else? All right, public time, any of the public?
Public,
That you and me.
wait, both of them. I'll take the first one.
Okay.
Got some concerns about Glover Road. I think Randy talked to Jim about it, a couple of dips in front of Mark Lauer's house where he's been having trailers come off of trailer hitches and couches ending up in his, front yard and debris and stuff, people going up to, IDF and so on. There's a couple of dips in the road, I think Jim, you went over and looked at it. So we're looking maybe to have those if we could repair. Randy's got some issues.
Well, I think the dips in the road, we don't know if the culverts are failed. Right. We should probably first start there and see if they're failing. If they're failing, then replace the cross culverts, but there's 3 dips right through there. The Detroit water line goes down through there. And I would say that the manhole cover sticks up that much. And I drive it semis, north, south. You come back southbound on Glover Road there, you better be going in the other lane. I mean, it'll just rock you. It's bad. The other thing is also, with the Champion being now, I guess with new tenants in there, truck traffic. I've been in downtown Elmont, 5:30 in the morning. Semi will come around there, go out East St. Clair, out Elmont Road to Glover Road. Those big bark hauling trucks, are they allowed to go down through there? And I would bet they're full. They're going to, I believe, Hypermax, Scott's, whatever. Aren't they supposed to go up 53 to 21 and in from that way?
We can look into that. I mean, 53-foot trailers are prohibited on non-designated roads. So if they're 53-foot trailers, they're prohibited to be on the non-designated road system.
Well, and Dryden Road, north of me, is just getting hammered. And Glover Road is getting really bad.
Yeah.
And I guess, is there any way that you could send somebody out there to kind of look at it and see?
Yeah, we can send a waymaster out there and do some patrol.
Yeah, that would be, and that's
Glover Road and see what they do.
Dryden Road too.
Yeah, Dryden and Glover.
Yeah.
And on Glover, there is.
Yeah, Elmont too. I mean, Elmont's in pretty darn good shape.
Uses that. Empty, I don't think we can do much. And they're coming back south empty.
Right.
If they're 53-foot trailers, that's still.
I think the bark trailers are most of them 53, aren't they?
So how does that work? Does Graham turn into, Glover turns into Graham, and at that point it's a Class A?
It's only Class A, a little ways right there where
So
the
Scott's.
last driveway is
Scott's.
by I-69 and that, so, yeah.
Yeah,
And then it's non-designated from there on out, so.
okay. Well, I guess
That's all that, I mean, if we could have those cross culverts checked out, see if they're failing. If they're failing, we need to probably replace them. That's the road commissions or,
County primary, so.
I don't know, but
Glover's
Primary.
What's that?
that manhole cover, I don't know how the blade hasn't ripped off the bottom of your trucks going through there either. It's bad. Or do you get the Detroit water, Great Lakes water out there to say, fix your manhole?
We typically work with them when it comes to something, on a road project and that. So if we're redoing a road and that, they typically give us the castings and we put the castings on and do what we can for a rebuild. Something like what you're describing, we would just call them up and say.
It looks like it was just rebuilt,
Okay.
but it's a little high,
A little high.
you know,
Okay.
and, just,
And at the minimum, put a sign up there that says bump. I mean, it's bad.
And I also asked them if he had went through the proper channels in this, and it was conveyed to me that, yes, it was, and no action was taken.
I think I might have said something to Jason about, he said he'd go out and look at it. I believe I might have said something to Nate, but Nate was, I think, in transition. I just think that maybe with all that happening right in there, that maybe it got overlooked. So,
No, we can take a look at it.
please,
Okay,
please.
appreciate it.
I do know there's gonna be an increase in, traffic out there, truck traffic, commercial traffic with that factory reopening.
Right.
The minute I found out about that reopening, I just, that's why I was slamming my mouse a little bit, I was gonna pull it up, and just so the board knows, when I found out about that, I reached out immediately to see if we could get a grant to redo those roads. The response, that I got back, based on the number of jobs, that's being recreated out there. The response I got, based on the number of jobs, the Lapeer County Road Commission could have received a grant in the $2 million range, or more to have that road rebuilt out there.
Could have?
Could've, but we didn't know about it, so the minute I heard about it, I reached out. And it was, so they went ahead, they went out, they sent my request to MDOT, and MDOT says, no, you would have had to apply for this grant before they announced the project that you're coming to town, so. So that's where, communication and collaboration, if the township knows of any new business coming to that, let us know at the road commission, we'll do the legwork, we'll do the grant, we'll do whatever we can to get the road tree built and things, so, that was one of the things that we heard about it after the fact, so.
After the fact, well, okay.
What happens if they don't come out within this fiscal year, and can you reapply next year?
No, this was for a company like that coming to town.
One shot deal.
It was a category A, category F grant, so.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's it from us, right? Okay.
Anything else from the public? All right, no old business, we're adjourned at 5:21.
Okay. We're free to go?
I didn't realize we was doing,
I was getting
questions today.
What?
You asked me how long it usually takes, so. that's why I didn't realize we-
You went over by 6 minutes. You said half hour to 45.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good night.